this episode. Kind of wanted to do a more chill episode in terms of content covering all that kind of stuff. I went to Grid Life Midwest this weekend, which was a good time and a very busy time, at least for me. But it was Herbie.
A time. What?
I'm just reading your chats right now. I don't know. All of
Oh,
a sudden, you
you
get
know.
a crown out of nowhere. I just don't
Yeah,
understand how it works, you know. But
like I said, I'm number one, and I get put as a number two crown.
I don't know, man. I don't understand how it all works.
What
But
are you gonna do?
yeah, so I went to Grid Life, so we'll talk about that. Great event as usual. Also my least favorite track to film in America, I think.
Was
Yeah,
it windy at least?
no.
All right, so you got a lot of haze and
Yep.
fog.
Yep. Most of the shots were junk and most of the shots were boring. So that is how Grid Life Midwest usually turns out. But we also had Drift Masters this weekend. Looked like a very wet and wild event that I I don't know, man. Like Finland really could use dry weather. Like dry weather drifting in Finland is much nicer than the wet weather drifting in
It's an
Finland. And
awfully slow track
yeah, it's
in the
it
rain.
yeah, and it was like it wasn't even like wet all the time. It was like patchy sometimes and then partially wet others. And I don't know. The cool thing about Drift Masters is everyone the podium from round 2, technically round 2, um going into round 3, all of them were knocked out by top 16, so that was kind of cool. Get a nice little shake up. There's
Yeah,
really no one that's really put it all together for both rounds, so that's really cool. I mean, and we'll go over standings real quick as well, but to see Connor Shanahan on top right now, and he didn't. I think he got knocked out in 16 in round 2, so it was
around 1.2.
yeah, 1.2, right?
I
But
know. I think they
I
said it during the live stream a couple of times, like
yeah,
saying round one, and I'm like technically, even on your
technically round
website, when
1.
you go to the points, round one says
Yeah,
they
and I
don't
did
exist.
talk to some of the guys there, and it doesn't sound like they're rerunning that round or any other round, so it's just going to be a 5 round series this year. So take that with
Pretty
how you will.
pretty
Um,
neat.
yeah,
Just
but
getting pretty sad, honestly.
yeah, so we'll talk about Finland. Like I said, it was decent. I think the rain definitely put some damper on it. As well. And yeah, well, I guess we can go ahead and get into that. And let me just pop up because I'm not allowed to show you guys any of the video just because
We'll get
Red
taken
Bull's
down.
Red Bull's a little fussy about that kind of stuff. But I actually, and once we get everyone in here, I do want to hit up one other thing as well. But I'm gonna let people get in before we talk
Get
about
on
that.
in here, grab yourself a plate.
Exactly. What's up, Tony? We got Malachi.
Exactly.
Rained every year. He said it
They have
rained
done.
every year they have done Finland round. Really? I feel like there's been a dry Finland round or two that I maybe am forgetting, but um
I think
yeah, I
it
mean
becomes dry at some
all of
point, but
all
I
of
think it
competition
always.
was in the wet and I was like, except for like a portion of 32. But
Oh, Yogi, yeah, play it flipped. True.
yeah.
You gotta like play it flipped and then put like a tone changer on the voices.
Yeah. I guess I could. Yeah. I don't want to spend that much effort on trying to play footage that
We'd
I'm
be
in
here
trouble
all
for.
night if you were to try to figure that out
Dude,
right now.
yeah, as Herbie knows, I am one of the most technologically illiterate people he's ever met. So, I mean, it's a miracle that this is actually turned on and working. So,
You
yeah,
figure it
Mike
out,
said 2023 was dry. That's what I thought. I thought one of the previous couple rounds was, but in terms of Finland, so I mean, we can at least start with standings and stuff like that. Like I said, Connor Shanahan back on top. Ended up winning the round, I think, pretty well, deservingly. Although he didn't have an easy road, that's for sure, to the finals because he had to beat Connor Falvey, which was a
Yeah.
good battle. And then, had to beat his brother and so on and so forth. but
Mm,
it's the Shanahans in the rain. I mean, pretty hard to beat. Not gonna lie. Uh,
they're a good time to watch.
yeah, but the guy who probably I was most impressed with was Tor on a con Kavia. Oh man, Jacob's gonna mess me up on this. He's like, I'm just gonna call him Tor.
Tone Kavia, I think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
He
Hell yeah.
was ripping all weekend in terms of like putting the car where it needed to be and stuff like that. And he lost in the finals. And honestly, I think might have been my driver of the day. After watching the event, it was really cool to see. And like I've always known, like people know he's a good driver. But there's always usually something, whether it's mechanical or something. He's similar to like a Dwayne McKeever to me, where insanely good driver, but sometimes the car just isn't there. Sometimes, um, and I think I mean, the car held together the whole round, and he really put together some spectacular driving. If you guys haven't seen it, I would definitely go and watch at least some of Tor's battles because that dude can drive.
This Biggs D said, "Let's talk about how Peter debeated and finished the whole run as if nothing happened." And it's very true. That was pretty
Yeah,
sick. Dude just
Peter's
wheels.
he's pretty good at driving. I'll just say that.
It's pretty damn good. And also, I mean, I really only got to see the qualifying, and it was thrilling. Again, like it brings up the argument of the seating versus the qualifying, just solo runs, and watching these dudes just go down there and like, what was it? Like the cutoff was at like a 91. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass to watch a bunch of dudes put over a 91-point run together time and time again. Just watching your favorite drivers showcase what they can actually do. And I know we've talked about it, but I can't believe that I'm leaning back more towards the qualifying fan side of things rather than the seating bracket, where I used to, like, when it was first introduced, I was a big fan and couldn't imagine ever going back to regular qualifying. But now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we just do it. It's more fair. Let the dudes do a good job and show what they can really do.
Right.
Fans have a good time. Like when James Dean went out there and did his 98.5 or whatever he did, I'm sure everybody in there was electric. Like, hate him or love him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a
And
fan of qualifying, Eric says.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're not. It's the same for anything, though. You're never gonna please everybody, and I think it's just like it comes down to the show standpoint, where I think qualifying just keeps the pace moving a little bit better, and it just gives the fans a better show, and it gives the drivers a better chance, and it makes it more fair for them, which is ultimately why we're all there. So, I don't know.
100%. And another guy that was kind of wild was Dwayne McKeever getting. I think he got, was it second or third in qualifying, but he in a borrowed car
Borrowed
put it
car.
out there, and then just absolutely threw it away in 32, which is not. I don't think I've seen him ever throw it away outside of a mechanical.
Yeah.
So that, and you saw him in the car, he was pretty mad, and
Yeah,
he
that
he
one I
bare
did see. I did see that run because I'm a big fan of Mr. Dwayne, and
hmm
uh, and the fact that he was in that borrowed car and he put together, what did he have, a 98, I think, for a qualifying run.
hmm
Insane.
yeah,
They just slapped the bigger turbo on that thing last
yeah,
week, bigger injectors. They're like, all right, take this baby up to the podium, and it looked like he was gonna. And like you said, he just, I don't know
center a
what
little
happened.
too hard in the wet and then over rotates. And the
Yep.
crazy thing is the guy in the chase, and I forget the guy's name. I think it was a wild card driver. Um, had nearly zeroed as well, but
Yeah.
in his lead. But I think
Yep.
they deemed it not quite a zero, and that's why he got the win. Which is a bummer because I'm a Dwayne McKeever fan, but is what it is. I still think it's a pretty respectable effort just coming from a borrowed car situation and putting that kind of effort out. I know
What do you
from
think his thoughts
points.
are on a Jay-Z now?
No, no, man. I mean,
You think he's gonna make the switch?
I don't know. Like, it would be kind of weird to see him in a Jay Z car at this point, but who knows? I,
He finally got a taste of torque.
I right. But yeah, I mean,
Um,
the thing with Dwayne is it's a bummer because I know for him, he's got championship aspirations, and that top 32, especially with only running 5 rounds this year, really hurts.
yeah, yeah.
That, and I'm just trying to think, where is he, anyways?
Oh, in the points.
Yeah, in the points.
He is. Damn, where is this boy? Where are
Dwayne
you?
McKeever down in 31st.
Holy smokers, that's why I didn't see him. Wow,
Yeah.
26 points we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's honestly, he's probably done in terms of championship shades this year, which is unfortunate.
Dave Egan, though, right behind him,
Yeah,
closing in the gap.
yeah, Dave
I
unfortunately didn't qualify.
He
Sent it a
didn't.
little
He
hard.
didn't, which
Yeah.
I don't think I would here at
Yeah, I
Finland
know.
either.
It's
I
like,
would throw this. I would throw the car right into that first wall almost
yeah.
every time. I could pretty much guarantee it. Don't ever offer or rent me a vehicle to drive there because it would not come out
In one
proper.
piece.
Yeah. So shout out to Dave Egan for his rookie season, and yeah, honestly, I thought that he did pretty good. I know, like it was what he got like a 78, and then on his second one, he had a
He's
little
zeroed,
kiss,
yeah.
a little kiss in the wall. But
A little more than a kiss, but yeah.
he,
Something like that.
he went to like second base.
Yeah.
But I mean, the dude's ripping, and while battling his own personal problems on the side, he's still out there and getting her done. You know, so
Yeah.
no slouch.
And like I was saying earlier, all of the guys in podium didn't even make it past 16. So obviously Oliver Randaloop, he got to 16 and lost. So it really did mix up the points this round and compared to the first round. I'm curious why it is such a change up, or why did we see such different people in the top three? Because Jack was also in the top three as well, and then you switch over to round technically three, and it's completely change up on who's in the I guess top three or podium here. Do you think the rain is the reason, or is it just Spain is just a weird track and it brings out different drivers?
I think Spain being a little bit different.
Because
Probably I lean more onto that because a lot of these guys, I think really all these guys are just
they all got
pretty
Finland down pretty well.
yeah, and rain. I think they're all European. All they do is just experience like one nice day out of a 2 month span. So like ultimately like that they're they're not, new to the rain driving, and they're all
Yeah,
incredibly talented in it, but I think there's something too with Finland in the wet. Like it just looks so slippery and then so grippy in some places. Like they were talking about it during the stream, and you don't realize the elevation changes that there are in that track. And like when you're coming down in some of these places, like the car will squat and it's gonna shoot you even more, and like still does that in the rain, and it catches like it probably catches people off guard, like how it will react, one run from the last, and like different variables. And then too, like you said, just Spain just being different. I think
it's much.
people's heebie-jeebies, getting shaken out too. It was their technical first round, so that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Car failures and mechanicals and things of that nature. But
yeah. One of the guys that was pretty eye opening as well, like Naoki was looking pretty solid this
he
weekend
did
as well.
His little height comparison with James Dean was hilarious. When they were on screen with each other,
Yeah.
that was pretty silly. That he's a tiny man. I mean,
Yeah.
James Dean is huge, but
Yeah.
yeah, Naoki was ripping.
It,
I wouldn't expect anything else though from him. That's one of those Japan drivers that I'm like, he's gonna rip.
yeah.
Like,
He didn't have the greatest years last year, or was it 2 years ago? I'm trying to remember.
I
He
don't
might
think
have taken a
did he
year
do
off
it
of
last?
Drift
Yeah, I don't know
Masters,
if he did it
but he did
last
it
year.
2 years ago. I know for sure. I'm pretty sure. And he, it took a lot of adjusting just by the way the cars are set up and everything like that. I think, learning the tracks for him was super, super important because he's, at least in Finland, he looked really good. Um, I think Tor knocked him out. I think that was who Tor, Kavia. I don't know where they have the bracket at least. I
I
guess I
know. I
didn't do
tried
that.
googling it. I have the bracket, but
Not the
not.
complete one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So what? James Dean got knocked out top 8.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was
So
against Keski Corpi, right? Or no?
yeah. It would be
Not Keski Corpi.
Kevin
Pisculti?
Piscolti. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he beat him, that's a name that I feel like I recognize. I don't know. A lot of these guys, their names, I can't pronounce them. 1, 2, they all start to look very similar.
They do, yeah. When you put that
And
many
that's
vowels
probably really
together, and
ignorant.
you just, for one, like you said, you don't even know how to say them, and then you just read, and you're just like, wow, that's a lot of letters that don't look
There's a
like they're
lot of
supposed to
stuff
go
going on.
together.
I do like Mika's name, Keska Corpi. I think that's a fun one. And his car is also sick. I think he's got one of my favorite cars out on the field. That green and purple BMW thing, whatever letter and numbers it is. I don't know. They have 20 million different variants of their chassis, so I'm never gonna learn them.
Right. Yeah.
2 top 8 finishes, but being top 5 is what brings him up. Is that you talking about James
Dean.
the Machine Dean?
Yeah, that's why he's in third right now.
Mm.
Because like you said, he's not crazy in terms of finishes, but
He qualified first last round, right?
yeah.
And then once again here, by the skin of his teeth, because everybody was just on a heater. Made me want to drive the track again on the sim, but ultimately I then thought to myself, no, I'm not these guys, so like
It's
I'm
a
gonna
cool
just sit.
track.
It is cool, it's just very hard. He messed up in several spots. Yeah. Well, you mean in his qualifying? I thought his qualifying was pretty good. I thought it was like 98.5 points worth.
Yeah. I know in competition he was making mistakes though.
He
With
did
the
make
rain and
quite a
everything.
few
Yeah.
in comp time, yeah. Looks
Yeah.
like way too much car for the Finland. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
The size is the really interesting one because all right, who's the guy with a lot of crazy letters in his name that drives the JZX from Finland? The blue and silver car. Again,
oh,
it's one of those names where I just can't
is it
remember.
Yuha?
Is it? There's a couple
No.
of Yuhas. It's not written in. I'm trying to remember.
There's a couple Yuhas?
But
Oh yeah, there are.
his
No, I
car
was
looked
thinking
massive as well.
Point the last, so
Oh,
I
that
don't know.
Yuha. It might be that one. I think it might be that one.
Let's see. Sorry everybody.
It's Yarko.
Point
It's Yarko.
Yarko. Oh, Yarko
You'll
Yulha.
don't I don't
Yulha.
know.
Yarko
Yulela?
Yulha.
Yula? Yarko Yula. Even though that is not how you pronounce those letters. J
So
Y
ignorant.
L
I feel
H
so
A
bad.
is not how you pronounce Eula, but we're gonna go with that.
Oh, look at his little picture. He's got look at his little smile going on.
But that
Latvian guy. Oh,
hot,
he was a
yeah,
guest
super
driver.
hot car. But that car also looked massive on track.
Yeah, well, I feel like once they come around, the first wall and they're coming down to then
Mm-hmm.
transition into that last wall. Like that is such a narrow part of a track.
Yeah.
It is like crazy. Thank you, Loco, again for that. All you guys for
Yeah.
clarifying Yarko. Um, but yeah, big vehicles. It's like St. Louis for us,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Like
Yeah.
transitioning into
The
outer
Mustangs
two.
barely fit in St. Louis.
Honestly, like I think if they were completely 90 degrees, they probably would go nose to tail, cover the entire course.
Yeah.
So a little difficult. You really gotta thread the needle there. That wagon
Yeah.
is way too big. Oh, the little diesel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the diesel vehicles are sick.
Dude,
That
did you see? Obviously, you
that
saw the
Mercedes,
crazy one. Yeah.
the 190E or whatever.
Yeah, the one they built that I don't think it's competing or anything. It was just there and driving. It was wild. I don't even know what it is. I think it's an old Mercedes with just wild body kit stuff on
He
it.
was he
It's great.
wasn't. Who
No,
was
he
the one that
was.
was?
No, there's two.
Okay.
He's got two wagons. I'm pretty sure. He's got a second one that's wild. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then Finland, like the track itself's cool because it's in like a little theme park. But
It is like a theme park. Did you see
yeah,
their little things going on in the background?
yeah,
See their little ride spinning around and stuff. That would be so sick.
it's so cool. Um, there the only track I can compare it to, and it's not even a good comparison, but I don't know if you've ever been to LS Fest East, but it's at Beach Bend Raceway, and there's actually a small little amusement park right next to the track, and they in LS Fest East they do like a drift competition, and
Yeah.
so theoretically you can kind of, if you shoot it right, can get some of the Ferris wheel in the back and stuff at Beach Bend, but it's like it's nothing compared to obviously what Finland
They still go
has.
there?
Yeah, for LS Fest East, yeah,
Oh.
it's an insanely packed event and has lots of LS cars.
No shot.
Yeah, right. They got LTs too now. They let the LT platforms in too.
They let those guys in.
Yeah, but
Nice.
it's just
Good for
like
them.
a circle oval. It's just like a
Ah,
circle oval track thing, skid pad. Um,
Eric is going this year to LS Fest East. Well, I hope you have a lovely time, sir.
I've been to many of them. They are fun. They got a little bit of everything. They got road. They got little. So there's what's it called when you race around the cones? Autocross. They got some autocross
Yes.
going on there. They got drifting. They got drag racing. And so they got a little bit of everything going on over there. And all the cars have V8s in them. So if you
Not
like
one.
if you like V8 noises, that is the place to go.
Is there like you can't not have a form of an LS or a.
Right. That's the whole point.
I get the name. You never know. Maybe they make an exception.
No, they don't.
They got any coyotes running around there?
There's literally a Ford Fest for that.
Yeah, but they could mingle too. It's like Xbox and PlayStation, dude. Cross platform.
It would be fun to do an LS versus Ford or like a Chevy versus Ford type style event. You know how they
Hell
do
yeah,
like
brother.
they do import versus domestic for like drag racing and stuff. Like you could do something like that for drifting. That would be kind of fun.
It would be fun. You know what? I'd say I'd put that on, but that would cost far too much money.
Right? I want to see an
Yeah.
LS versus Jay-Z competition.
Well, I don't know if I really want to see that. I don't want the Jay-Z to lose. Just in case, I don't think it will, but if it does, what if there's something weird in the air quality that day and it just makes them all implode?
Right?
Yeah,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
I think it'd be kind of fun. Do a little Jay-Z versus LS competition.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd
Engine
be very
platform that gets
thankful
the most
for.
wins kind of thing.
Yeah, but there would still be. It would never end. It would never end the debate or anything.
Oh come on,
And
it'd be fun. You do it once a year, and you bring out. I mean, you feel
run
like
what
you
you
could do it
run.
with with most of the FD field, you know.
LS versus JZ, isn't that FD? Well, there's more. We got a lot of other stuff going on now in FD. We got options.
Yeah, there's other stuff going on in FD.
Got
Not much else, but
B58s.
there is.
We got Coyotes. We
Literal.
got VR38s. We got RB. See, no plural, just one. We
Just
got
one.
we have RB.
What's up, Phil? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, so it looks like we got a lot of people are in here. So I did want to also mention this. So obviously, I went to Grid Life this weekend. Unfortunately, though, when I got to Grid Life, I got word that one of my good buddies actually lost his car in a fire on his way up to Grid Life. If you guys know him, Kyle Antonovich. So this is kind of a sad post, but I did want to bring it up just to shout out his website. He does a lot of I think he wraps cars professionally, like that's his day job, but they also got like a cool website with stuff to support him. So I don't know what actually caused the fire, but on his way up to Grid Life, there is nothing left of his S chassis. It's gone.
Or trailer.
Or trailer. It was an LS swap chassis. It actually had just won. He had just won D1 GP in Drift Indy with that car, and I just saw him at Hyperfest with it. So, kind of a bummer situation. So if you guys wanted to go,
huge.
Yeah, if you guys want to go check out his website, this is his website. I'll throw it in the comment as well. Shop Vicken Visuals, I think, is the official name of his company. But yeah, that was a sad thing to hear when I showed up. It was like the night before or something, and they were driving, and he had no idea, and it was tough. But
yeah, it was a good looking car.
It was a good running car.
He drove it well.
He drove it well, and it was, super bummer.
Well, I hope.
I'm trying to figure out
everything swings in the right direction for him going forward. That definitely is never a good thing to see. I don't really know the guy. It's definitely not cool. And that was on the way there. You said it just did he?
Yeah.
He was able to unhook the truck.
He unhooked his truck.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, and then that was about all he could do. By the time that someone like said hi to him or someone was trying to get his attention because his trailer was on fire and he had no idea.
Yeah.
And obviously by the time he got to that, it was it was bad. So it's unfortunate. Make sure you guys carry spare fire extinguishers.
What? I was gonna say what?
Sorry, fire extinguishers with you in the truck because that stuff can happen.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
line your trailers with lifeline, fucking pull units, and have a contraption in your truck. And
just have a fire extinguisher. And
I know. I feel like though at that point there was nothing. I think one fire extinguisher would have just.
I know.
It would have just been like pissing on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, though, like, I know I kind of jokingly said that. Imagine somehow if anybody steals this idea, I want at least 10%. But a trailer, fucking fire suppression kit. And just like it lines it or whatever, it somehow has like you fucking just pull the thing just like a race car type style. Yeah, now everything inside your trailer is covered with stuff, but maybe it's not burnt to the ground. Could be my $1 million idea that would cost me $2 million to actually make.
Right. Great idea there, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I thought so.
Yeah, I finally figured out why I couldn't comment in my own chat. It was because I wasn't signed in. It somehow weirdly just logged me out of YouTube. So, all right. So now I have the link to his shop in the comments now. I know, dude. What? I just had the stream up open in another tab, and it's like, you're not signed in. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not signed in? I've been signed in
Well,
all day.
you could still just watch stuff without being signed in.
Yeah, but I can't. You can't comment.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
that. So I was trying
you
to put
comment
his
off.
link in the comment, and it wouldn't let me. And I was
I
trying to figure out why.
uh,
Okay, I'm trying to figure out stuff live here, and this is the challenge because I'm trying to be heartfelt, and because he's a good buddy of mine, and I'm really sad about it. But also, I'm like kind of frustrated because I couldn't put his link in the chat. You know, it's a whole thing. You know, when you're doing live streams and
frustrated too
you know,
because I had such a banger idea that I thought of
yeah, and
first.
I totally did not listen to any of it because I was trying to deal with this
See,
shit.
Eric had agreed though. Herbie and I will design it and sell it. I appreciate it, buddy. I can do the designing part, and then if you want to do the funding of the prototype, and then and then all that stuff, we could probably work something out here.
Oh gosh. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
so
it's a super shitty situation. So obviously, total
definitely shitty.
loss on everything. I mean, I'm sure the tools and everything that were in the trailer, everything's done. So it's kind of a sad little thing. But actually, good grid life. Geez, if I can talk. Midwest is actually pretty fun though. Had a bunch of there are a bunch of people that blew up their engines though. That was kind of sad. But such as Gingerman, it's not very nice on cars.
Now you're going really fast.
Yeah, so if you guys have never drifted Gingerman, it's I think from a driving perspective, it's a super fun track to actually drift. It's not like a super technical. It's a lot of really big corners that you're kind of just going into. And you can have a lot of fun with entries here. Like you can go really fast and do like crazy flicks and stuff. That's what a lot of guys like to do, and then you can
throwing the
also go
car
off
the
track really
opposite way.
easily into the grass.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to actually hit anything at this track. So
You could. If you
eh,
try really hard, you could definitely somehow mess things up. But you have to try so hard.
yeah, like
Or
this track is
or
actually super safe to try, have a lot of fun and try things at.
yeah.
So we do see a lot of cars go off, but it's a good it's a fun track. It's just my pet peeve is one, the media access is kind of limited just because of how big the track is, and like I get why the media access is limited. It's just a pain in the butt to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
You just
and
have a
the
bunch of
shots don't look fantastic. Like they don't. They all look the same. There's nothing. We really only shoot the first couple corners, even though the best corners to actually film would be the back half of the track. But again, who's walking 5 miles to get to the back part of the track?
yeah.
That's not where any of
Yeah,
the crowds are or anything. And
it's
then
quite difficult to get around there unless you are like staff like Grid Life where you can like get a ride out there and get a walkie-talkie and not get abandoned out there. Otherwise, you are now on an island in the back half of the track for the remainder of God knows how long at that place. So, yeah,
yeah. So it was a good event though. I mean, in terms of the driving, like I like going because I don't get to see road racing very often, just because of what I film, and they at least have some fun road racing, wheel to wheel stuff. Whether
yeah.
it's their little what are those things called?
GLTC or the
Well, they
Rush
have
cars,
GLTC, but then they have the little carts too.
the Rush SR.
The Rush
Yeah,
stuff, yeah. So they got the Rush stuff also. Obviously we had Nate Hamilton on, and he was talking all about that. And it's actually
yeah.
there was
Did
some
you see his
carnage.
post today? Yeah, did you see
Yeah,
his post about it?
yeah,
Good
yeah,
man he is. Yeah,
yeah.
he got into a little bit of a
Little
he
tussle.
pushed a little hard and he learned. It was a learning experience for the
Mm-hmm.
still very rookie of a race car driver. And yeah, he took the bumper off the front end of his and I think mangled up the rear of the
Another
other
person,
little
yeah,
cart in front of him. And then
yeah.
immediately, like sent him a DM and was very, apologetic and sorry and offering to replace and fix anything that was damaged on the vehicle and good
Well,
man,
yeah. Well, I
Nate.
mean, it's a little different in drifting because like you're not in drifting. It's okay if you hit other people because you're kind of like halfway supposed to. But you're not
Especially
supposed.
that. That was
Yeah.
like what the start of the race, and he's coming in. He's like,
Hot.
I think I see an opening. I'm fucking taking it. It's like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, it was. It's just, so that's why I like Grid Life is they do have some fun forms of racing. And again, GLTC, another wheel to wheel racing series, which is a really interesting one. Since it's all based on power to weight, for the most part, along with a couple
Yep.
other things, whether it's you get it docked if you want to run a splitter, and if you want to run a wing as well, you also get docked for that. But in terms of power, you
Yeah,
can
they
run.
all
But
they all have to be homologated parts, right? I think even in the GLTC, I think that they have.
no, not in
No.
GLTC. No, it's not. I
Okay.
don't. It's all. It's a lot of it's like based on power to weight, and it's actually a really cool class because you see pretty much everything in it, with everything from Hondas to
Yeah.
Corvettes and all these different power plants, and they're all racing. It's very similar speed, so it's a really cool series if you guys haven't checked out racing or interested in road racing stuff. It's
Yeah. Go
GLTC
try to
series
take
is really
those.
cool.
Go try to take those ASM guys down if you're feeling frisky. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good,
they got like 10 cars in
good
it.
luck. Yeah,
It's
good luck.
yeah. Actually, the winner was a BMW, and I forget the guy's name, but
Different guy.
yeah. No, I think the
Dang.
highest ranked ASM car was fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a
All
bunch
right,
of.
new sheriff's coming in town
Well,
here.
it's cool because like a BMW was one, and second was overall was a Honda Civic, that was K
Okay.
swapped, and third was a Corvette that had been massively detuned.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit of everything was in the top there. So it's a really cool series
That
from a
was
road racing side because I'm not a big road. I don't watch road racing. I'll be honest. Like the wife watches F1 more than I do, so it's like that's as close as I get to the road racing side,
to the
really.
road race. Well, I just going back, Loco. I come and tell the drivers it's impossible to hit something. Guarantee somebody will find a way. 2 years ago, one of Nate's coworkers definitely found a way at that track. You remember he broke down in the middle and he got
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
T-boned
yeah.
because it
So
was right over a
he was in
blind. It
grid.
was
Yeah, he stopped at grid, and I don't know what this other guy was doing, but he got rear-ended in grid,
yeah,
like
yeah.
hard.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, he got rear-ended
Just-
by another car in grid, and it
I
was
remember
like,
seeing that thing come by on a tow truck, and I'm like, how did
yeah,
this happen? I'm like, dude, it's just fields. We just have open fields here. The
right,
wall that you can only hit, really, you're entering looking the opposite way, and then you finally turn. The worst thing that's going to happen there is you break a tire out and you go into the grass. But
yeah,
that was carnage.
yeah.
And it,
That was a sad day, but actually, his it can't actually pulled out okay on the S2000, and he still runs it like that.
yeah, yeah.
um,
I mean, he was back out there, right?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
here this weekend ripping. Um,
Yep.
Phil asked, "Did you guys check out the Gambler at all?" I have not had any chance to check out anything.
Some prospect boys, first, second, third.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor Root
Okay.
first, Dimitri second, and then Nate Chen third.
Nice. Nice.
Yep. And then I don't know what happened with Brian Hopp. He got passed in a very like Timu style way, like Federico. They
Yeah,
did
I
the
saw
double
that.
pass thing. Yeah, you saw that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they made fun of it, saying like the wish list or the wish version of what they did, and I don't know really what else happened, but it seemed like a pretty good turnout because they had Panda Fest going on at the same time.
Okay.
Sucked that it rained. Gambler was a decent event. I'm glad to hear that. I always want that to have more publicity because it's the track is cool, whether they do it on the front track or on the FD course. Like they're both like I think
And
the
this one was on the
stadium.
front track, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the stadium is obviously better for a spectator because you get to just you're wrapped around you're in a stadium.
Right.
but the driving on the front track is just, it's such a cool track. It's an iconic place, honestly, at this point for drifting. I didn't even know Dimitri's son was out there competing, honestly.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't
so
surprise me he was
it
killing
was
it, though.
Dimitri that got second though, right? It wasn't his
Yeah.
son. Okay. Gotcha. So they were both driving. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, but that definitely the Panda meet,
Phil
like,
qualified
put on.
third. There you go. Nice work, buddy.
Oh shit, dude. Yep, Phil also is this. I saw he was getting some work done by MA Motorsports. I didn't realize that Phil's got some fucking deep pockets like that, buddy. Jeez, Lou, dude. What'd you do? You hit the lottery? Golly.
That's
Well,
funny.
if you're looking to spend any more, I got you, dude. I'll throw an invoice your way. All jokes aside, though, MA and Brian, they do incredible work, and it's just, I know it's pricey. You're paying for what you get, and it is expensive. I mean, you look at Brian Hopp's car, and anybody else with an S chassis will still walk up to Brian Hopp's car and be like, "Damn, this is proper. This is like mine, but with like sparkles on it." It's like,
What a way to
so,
describe an
you know,
expensive car.
it's like take this, but make it shiny. It's like, wow, that's nice. All the bells and whistles on this thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, overall, I think, like I said, I think a good event from what I had seen. I didn't tune into the live stream at all. Um, yeah, not bad. My garage is too small for torque tube issues. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Gotta make that switch, dude.
Oh, but yeah.
Maybe one
So
day.
so were there any? I don't know if there were any other events that I really saw going on this weekend that were major drift events, but um, it's
Bunch
good
of
to hear
people
that the Gambler
practiced.
is got people going to it because I know like when they had the split classes, that was kind of a challenge. Was um, that it was
Well,
hard to fill both classes. You
and
know.
I think too the success of this one was because of Los Goonies
Yeah.
being, like, the sponsor and like having their car meet happening. So like that definitely helps. I still wish in a way that they had the 2 tire
Yeah.
comps, um, or just raise this one to a 255. Probably not the best idea for that second option. Probably would prefer the first one because it would just, these people with these G35s would just get absolutely walked out there with a 255 Pro car. That's just how it is.
Right.
But I I don't know. I don't know what I would like to see differently
Well, they're
from the
making the
Gambler.
cars work on 235s.
They
So
definitely make the cars work on the 235s, and I think too there's not like I don't think there's a rule like you have to like use accelerators or you have to use Valino or this, that, the other thing. I think you just use, as long as it says that number on the side, you could use it. But yeah, they had the practice on Friday. Or I don't want to say a lot, but a few FD drivers were there, practicing on the last certified practice day on the
yep.
Gambler course, or the FD track. Hop, Colette, Bastrack, uh,
Alaska.
Alaska. He looked pretty good out there from a couple of videos I had seen.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wishing the best for him again. Get that boy up there again. See what he
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah. It's the real interesting question of okay, can he put it together again?
Yeah.
It's always been that
Yeah.
question.
I mean,
But
it's so much pressure with just 4 rounds. We've talked about it before with just, and honestly, it's almost in the same realm of the pressing matter for Drift Masters this year, with
yeah.
just so little rounds for drifting as a whole. Even the pro guys, like 8 isn't. It's a lot, but it's not that much. Like we're taking a whole week, or some of these dudes are taking 2 weeks out of their lives to do 1 round. But like when you look at any other professional sport, you look at how many events that they have, and it's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And then like, it just makes like that pressing matter of each event. Yeah, obviously you still want to go and win every damn time,
Mm-hmm.
but You know, like if you lose 2 out of 16, it's not nearly as bad as 2 out of
Right.
4.
Well, and that's what I was saying about Dwayne McKeever, like the fact that
Yeah.
his car failed in the first round, got no points in the
Yep.
first round, and then had made that mistake in 32. Like his championship hopes
Yeah.
and dreams are already over,
Yeah.
at this point.
26 points now, and you're halfway through your season.
Almost, yeah. And it's like, okay, so you're out of the championship, and it's unfortunate, That's the
Yeah.
thing with FD's 8 rounds, is you can have a bad round or two
Hmm.
and still stay in the fight, and it'll be, like I said, it'll be really interesting, obviously with their new point system, to see if it does keep more people in the fight. Like I hope it does.
It also seems like it's keeping a lot of people out of a fight
Yeah, there's that too. There's like
at a
there's
solid
people that are
0.
stuck. Yeah, there's a couple people stuck at like that intersection between seating and 32, and they're the ones that getting screwed over the most. But we'll see if it plays out any better throughout the rest of the year. Obviously, we'll do the New Jersey show next week before New Jersey, and they'll
I
have
don't
all the
know.
brackets out and
I'll be
stuff. 'Cause,
somewhere.
yeah, right.
I'll probably be in Jersey. I think I'll drive up on Tuesday, so
Sick.
I should be somewhere at that time.
Somewhere. But
Regardless of maybe even in my car at the
hey,
time. I
you
might
want to
just be
do a little
pulling
car
up.
stream? That I like it. I like it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
But
we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for this round. Obviously, I'm a little biased. Home, home track, home people, my friends, um, the camaraderie, like the Jersey shit talking is just very prominent there. Obviously, we are in Jersey, but like everybody's got something to say about everybody when you go to that round, and I love it. Like bets are happening on the side. Like the VIP boxes you walk into, and every room is just a different party with different people and
right.
different teams, or like supporters for different drivers, and it's awesome. I genuinely love it, and I fingers crossed hope that it won't be as humid as last year.
Do you think the New Jersey driver curse is going to continue?
For sure.
Yeah. All the local
Fuck
guys
yeah.
are just going to
Oh yeah,
randomly get
dude.
knocked out early
I'm
somehow.
going to just make sure that I got a bevy ready to go, dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If I want to come get some sim lessons, oh brother,
Yeah.
I have to fucking knock you out just for even saying lessons, dog. I'm gonna put your ass in the dirt,
Oh
dude.
my god. You're supposed to
I'm
say
gonna give
trailer,
you a
buddy.
lesson.
In the theoretical trailer.
I'm just put his steering wheel on like a ball gag, but steering wheel gag.
Eric will be in New Jersey. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I hope that I feel like majority of these folks that are in the chat are probably going to be at Jersey. Phil, if I don't see you at Jersey, then you're fired.
You're fine.
Oh, they have the Ireland drift uh shit live stream is on this. I don't know what the S stands for. IDS. Irish Drift.
I thought it was IDC. I thought it was Irish Drift Championship.
I thought so too, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe they switched it up. Like the WWF went to the WWE.
I
Who
don't
knows?
know.
I got a SimCube. All right, you don't know anything about the light. I know stuff. All right, buddy. All right. Put the
But
wheel back in the box. Yeah. Put the fries in the bag.
that's funny.
I'm gonna show you a thing or two about a thing or two there, partner. This guy's just trying to get me to come over to his house. So if I go missing, and the last place that I was Phil's, we all know that this is a ploy. It's the bald head.
Oh man.
Gotta stick together.
Yeah. No, I mean, in terms of
Irish
New
Drift
Jersey and
Series.
stuff, it's gonna be a tricky round just because obviously I got all my stuff going on, and then Possibly a surprise trip afterwards, but still
Yeah,
need
are
some
you not allowed
confirmation
to
on some
say
of that
anything
stuff.
yet?
No, can't say anything.
This is
Well,
baloney.
I know, a little teaser. Hopefully it all
There
gets
was a
ironed out this
tease
week, though.
on corresponding page as well, wasn't there today?
I can't say anything.
I that's what I said.
I
Just
can't.
corresponding
I
page.
can't say anything. It's just gonna be. Let's just say I'll be probably excited next stream because it'll actually be more set in stone.
This guy's gonna be absolutely miserable next stream.
Dude.
He's gonna come in here like Eeyore. Which honestly wouldn't be able to tell a difference anyway, because that's just kind of how I thought that you lived your life. Was just
Yeah,
sad.
just
But come
I'm
to find
depressed.
out, it's just an incredible resting bitch face that you have developed over these years.
Yeah, you deal with enough incompetence. You just assume that's what it is. You know.
This is
You-
why, if anybody's noticed, he smiles more ever since he started hiring me.
I know, dude. I'm just like,
Cause,
well,
cause he's finally got just some confidence,
well.
just
That's the
really
fun. The fun part is like you get to hang out in my misery. Right.
wallow in it.
Yeah, you're just
You're
like you're like, oh, I get it now.
you're like a martyr, like a Modern Warfare perk number 3 martyrdom, dude.
Yeah.
You got the death streak going on.
Yeah.
Well,
Man.
I don't know. Where would you put Jersey though on your list of rounds?
Um,
Probably
probably like 4 or 5.
out of 8.
Yeah, it's probably a mid round for me. I like the
That's not very
driving.
good.
The atmosphere is good, but it's not a crazy
That's not
track.
very good.
You know what I'm saying?
No, no, it's not very crazy. Don't
Yeah.
have to. So that's okay.
I don't know. It depends on what you're talking about because
I'm
different
gonna
FD
go
rounds are
and
better.
spray paint crazy all over the track, and you're gonna come and you're gonna look at it and be like, "Whoa, look at all the crazy on the track." I'm gonna say that's a crazy track, isn't it? And you're gonna be like, "Damn." I'm gonna
Well,
be like,
see,
"Yeah, I got you."
I would have Atlanta, Long Beach, and if we're talking last year, Irwindale and ahead of it, for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where I'd put Jersey at 4, probably.
Okay. That's fair. Well, let's just hope that it's nice out this year.
Yeah.
Honestly though, I would like it if we had 2 options, rain or last year. Taking last year. I'm gonna wallow in my ball sweat all weekend if it means that we're dry. I'll be moist. Am I sticking around for Pro Bro Down? I say every year that I am, but when I wake up Sunday, it's at noon, and by that time, I say I don't wanna. So that was actually I wish that you were showing up like Tuesday instead of Wednesday. I've said this. Really would be neat. So you can
Yeah.
experience the Wednesdays on the backtrack. Dude,
Well,
you just
I'm
wear a
busy.
pair of shorts, grab yourself a Yingling or two and hang out. Just hang out. Put your Crocs on and just
That'd
chill.
be nice, right? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing: is like, I mean, I've always wanted to stay for Pro Bow Down, but the problem is with on my end, it's deliverables. You know, like that's part of my job is getting content out to a lot of these drivers as quick as possible. And so like that's kind of the challenge with me and
Yeah,
why
but
I've never
like,
really stayed for Pro Bro Down is because I do have and like that's the thing is like a lot of these events actually have drifting on Sunday. Like Atlanta, they do it over at Lanier on Sunday. St. Louis, they
Se-
usually run an event the day after.
Seattle.
Um, Seattle, like there's usually events on Sunday right after the FD round that gives drivers a chance to drive and stuff. But I can never stay and do any of that stuff because obviously my job when we're at the event is getting content out and making sure we're hitting our deadlines. And I don't have a lot of wiggle room when hitting deadlines. But it's gotten better. So this year, in working with our 3-person team, I think it's been a really eye-opening experience on my end because obviously I got Herbie running the stream. So just to give you guys some insight on how we kind of run our team, Herbie's got to be in an area that is not shooting through a fence because you got to run the live stream because you guys can't see through a fence on the live stream.
And until Black Magic develops their app that you can, we can fully control the camera and like your focus point and all that stuff, can't use that and also stream on YouTube. So until they figure out a way that you can probably do that, then yeah, we have to stay away from fence with phone.
Yeah.
As many of you are probably aware, when you're getting your spectator videos, you're like, damn, that's just all fence.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
yeah.
So that's why when we do it, I usually have Herbie covering the areas that don't have fence or like you see a lot of the run, and that's why you guys get those angles, and then I'll have Rob, our other media guy, out doing some of the more specific fancy shots through fence and stuff. And so I'll have you two guys out there filming the runs. I usually stay back, get B-roll of the cars, the hot pit areas, and then I just sit on the computer the rest of the weekend, getting stuff out, grabbing cards from you guys, and then getting stuff out and going through it and getting it out as fast as possible, as well as like organizing it so that when I send all the footage later on, it's already organized. But it's actually been a really cool experience, apart from the fact that I miss filming, and I only film like 5 or 10 runs every weekend now. And
you did a bit at Orlando. You got to get your feet wet, but that was
yeah,
for other purposes.
yeah, I needed some angles still, and there wasn't a lot of driving happening because of all the delays. So I wanted to make sure we had enough footage for everyone.
Yogi says, then we have Yogi bothering Nate and Herbie.
Yeah. Then Yogi
Yeah.
will be like, hey, are you free right
Hey,
now?
we're
We gotta
ready
go
for
film
you.
this. I'm like,
Yeah.
sure, we'll make it happen. And it works out. It usually does.
Yeah.
But like it makes it so the fact that I have you and Rob opens us up to like do stuff like that and be able to go shoot an interview with the driver if we need to, or go shoot a video with Yogi on something. So like that's kind of the nice thing about it. But then I also am trying to get this stuff done because the end goal is to be able to be done with it all by the end of the weekend, apart from my major things like major edits. And I'm pretty close. I'm getting better.
Major
I
edit.
would say, or like like the big long videos that I do for a couple of drivers that are really long and take a long time to make, and I need to stop taking so long to make them because
It's a mental
here's my
thing.
problem: is I refuse to cut corners on my quality, and this is the problem.
Well, it's a good problem to have, I
I
think.
know. Well, yeah, I just put a lot of hours into some of the big videos. If you guys have seen, like, for example, Simon Olsen's videos, I think the last 2 I've done for him have been 30 minutes close to. So those take a very long time to make, but they're fun
Yeah,
to
they're
make. They
just
are very
definitely
cool.
they're pretty mentally draining.
Yeah,
Just going through and you're like, all right, I know what I shot, but then when you do have like 3 different shooters, like including yourself, like it's like, all right, I shot in this succession. Like I know that like Herbie obviously had to have started here, ended here. What did he shoot in between? It's like, all right, well, there's a top 16 ceremony, so like there had to have been some B-roll around there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all fun, and the thing is too something that I try to do when we're doing stuff for different people. Like, there's some drivers we do like a reel for, along with the footage that we give them, or there's some drivers that we make a bunch of reels for them. It just kind of depends. Some have sponsors they need stuff for, so I generally have a decent idea what I need to get before a round. And so what I try and do is I try and plan at least somewhat. Like, this is my time period where I'm getting this type of footage for the drivers I need. And so that way when I go back, I know that this time of the day was when I got this type of footage, whether it was B-roll for a specific brand on something, or this driver wanted to make like a funny reel about something, and so this is when we filmed it. So that
Yeah.
way I'm not like relying on Herbie and Rob for that kind of stuff. To I already know I filmed it, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit it and get it out during the week, during the event,
Yeah. Be
because like
done. Be
yeah,
done with it. And yeah, this is it's it also clears your brain of just being free of that thing. So now
right,
you just focus on doing better at the other things that are at hand. And yeah,
exactly.
but yeah, yo, you love working with you there, partner.
Yeah,
You definitely keep us on our toes there.
yeah, he
It's
does.
uh it's never a dull moment, and honestly, it's one of I don't, I would say I probably would want another way, but ultimately, when I would have it, like, just a calm and timid way, like, I would hate that, dude. I want on my toes. Keep me
Yeah,
on my toes, keep
got
me awake and keep me wanting to just, I guess, try something different too. I mean, definitely interacting. I mean, I love interacting with people, clearly on the
yeah.
live
I mean,
stream.
even like when we do the pit walk rounds, which there's a good chance we'll probably be doing those in New Jersey, because we'll have Sarah back. Was what it sounds like. So that'll be another fun thing to try to throw in there. It's just a lot when during the pro only rounds because there's only 2 day events, so we don't get a lot of extra time to do like walkthroughs and stuff. Like that's
Yeah,
the hard part
the
about.
fun stuff.
hmm That's the hard
Yeah,
part about doing a walkthrough on the pro days because there's only 2 days. When we have that third day, it makes it a lot easier to kind of pull away and do some of the pit walkthroughs or stuff like that because I have a whole extra day to get footage of people
yeah,
and
and
I can get
most
a
of the
lot.
time it does end early, but like on the schedule, we're planning for it to, say it ends at 6 and then like
hmm
we're back out there at 7:30. You plan for that. Ultimately, it's an hour because it's going to take you 10 minutes to walk off. It's going to take you 10 minutes to get back out there. And then you have to like go out there a little bit earlier so that way you're not,
Yep.
rushing yourself or fumbling the bag of, missing your spot or missing whatever. And yeah, so like now ultimately in your head you have an hour. So like that's your first hour to eat, refuel, like get like more bevies and throw them in the bag and
hmm
basically head back out. That's why like like so far this year I like go back and I see like what I shot and I'm like, damn, I'm like I should have fucking walked more. Like during like the off time, like I haven't like done any B roll at all. I'm like it's like all Nate. Like it's literally like all Nate. I'm like that is bad on me. I'm like I never do that. I'm like I live for the B roll. That is like my
But
favorite thing, and I haven't done it. And then I'm like, all right, well Long Beach. I'm like I don't even remember it to be completely honest. I'm like that already feels like it was last year. I'm like Atlanta, that was all I remember was just grid life pain. And then
the rain.
for Orlando, it was year and got all I told myself before the event. I was like 48 hours. That's all you need. Just 48 hours. Just get through it. And then it's a great time. And then it's over. And I'm like, well, damn. Okay. Didn't want to walk around during that because
We did do some
equipment
pit
would
walk
be.
around stuff in Atlanta though.
Yeah, we did.
Some
We
basic
did.
stuff on the first day.
And we would have done more.
If the rain would have held off, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like another thing too. Like I do love doing the pit walk stuff, but like when we do get the chance to do them, then I never end up actually doing like any like real B-roll like RT stuff because I'm like fucking locked in, dude. I'm like to unlock myself and come out of there is that's harder to do than actually just stay. It's like okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, it's a fun job, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Um,
nah, it's
I
fun.
I actually so this weekend in at Grid Life I shot a episode on the Circle of Drift podcast with Dawson.
Okay,
He was just sitting there. He had like a little booth set up and he was doing interviews there. So I
how did
sat
it
down with
go?
him. That was good. I sat down with him an hour, talked to him about basically what we do, and it was really easy because I could just talk all day about that. But um, yeah, it was
Yeah, I
like
mean, is he trying to learn your tricks of the trade, dude? It's gonna
no,
cost
he
him.
does his own thing, Like
I
he
know.
does a
I'm
really
kidding.
good.
I,
He
I
does a
know.
really good job on his podcast stuff. So
Yeah,
more power to him.
they
I
do.
wish I just
They
don't have
kill
the
it.
time right now to be doing all of the cool edits he does with his stuff. Like I don't know if I've posted any clips from the last one just because my life's been nuts with all
Yeah.
of the different events we've been doing, and it's not going to get any easier. I can tell you that, at least for the next probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And
Yeah, I mean, Malik asks, "Are we attending any Drift Master rounds this year?"
that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
It would be cool. Maybe someday.
That
That
video of Justin's 360 was sick. Thank you. I tried hard on it. Um, just kidding. I wasn't there. I felt
I
actually really bad.
that
Because
was
my
the
buddy
one video
went.
I posted in like a week and a half. By the way.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, wait, Nate was at Grid Life this weekend.
Yeah,
And then I saw a video. I'm like, yeah, he was at Grid Life. I'm like, I
I
wasn't
know.
going crazy.
I haven't.
And
Yeah, I haven't even posted anything like on my personal. Like I just have not had time
yeah,
because I've been trying to knock out all this extra work, and this is how it always goes. Okay, so I went to Midwest to film for Link, ECU, and then one person asked for footage. I'm like, okay, cool.
oh, the poor
Unfortunately,
fellow that
that one
is.
person
Uh,
was Kyle, and his car burnt down before I got there. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I feel bad, but I wasn't gonna get. All right, I don't need to get footage for anyone else. And then I get there, and within 15 minutes, I had 5 guys asking me for footage. I'm like, okay, well, I'm here, so might as well say yes, right? So, yeah, that's kind of that's how it rolls usually. I end up going places, and people are like, "Yo, you got me right." I'm like, "What do you mean I got you? I just got here." But yes, that's usually how this
uh,
ends up going. Uh,
oh man, you see, Hurst he's in the hospital. He had a hernia or something.
what
He
the
was
fuck is
getting
he doing?
hernia surgery. So I commented, I was like, damn, I'm like, you blew yourself out taking people's money in foot races. And he said, yeah, that was like a contribution to it. But then what did I say back to this guy?
Oh my gosh, is he doing?
I,
Is
s-
he?
I, s- I said, blowing too many dudes' backs out. You gotta chill out. He said, well, he said, take it easy. You're next. I said, don't make a promise you can't keep.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Oh yeah,
but he'll.
that's fun.
Is he
He's,
gonna be good by Jersey? Hopefully.
I mean, he's just gotta sit down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
No, he doesn't have to race somebody
Yeah,
on foot. That is,
that's
but
funny.
yeah,
Well,
Yogi, a Riga trip would be tough. That is, that and Mandela are
I want to
my,
go to Poland.
yeah.
I want to go to the Poland Stadium. That
That I
is
mean, that would
that is an
also
end
be
goal.
cool.
Someday I will go to the Poland Stadium.
The
Someday.
footage is just so cool.
Isn't it? With the fire and
It's just so
everything?
cool. Yeah, even when it's dry, you still get like reflection because the asphalt is just so it's brand new. It's so greasy that it's just still reflecting. Hurst needs to get healed up quick, and he's fishing hard for his oil wrestling matches.
I still love that Andy's pushing for this oil wrestling match between him and Jack Shanahan. It needs to
You
happen.
know,
It needs to.
I I would I say it has to happen too, but golly, that just
We're going to
sounds
Warsaw. Yeah. Hey, that would be
crazy.
one
Just
hell of a trip. Not gonna lie. Ferropolis. He also brought up Ferropolis. You know, we've pretty much convinced
long.
Wong to go out to Ferropolis, so maybe I should just tag along with him.
There we all just hop on the same flight. I mean, I'll meet
Yeah,
up with him in
yeah,
Indiana or wherever he is, or
yeah,
Indianapolis. I don't
right?
even know. He's in the middle of nowhere, just like the same I am. It's just like, where are you? Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Oh,
It would be cool to go to Drift Masters, that's for sure. Though it'd be a lot of work though. And that's the other thing. And like, I don't know. I'm in the business of trying to make money and not lose a bunch, and that's the other
maybe
challenge, right?
maybe then Connor Shanahan would actually really recognize me if he saw me across the pond.
Yeah, is that the goal?
That could be. Maybe all I have to do is
Hey, you
spend
got to
a
do an
low.
interview with James Dean. So
Not really.
no, not really.
When did I do that?
Last round
No,
with the bobblehead.
no, that was Yogi.
Oh, bummer.
I was there. I was there. I mean,
Oh
but yeah,
man.
I'm just a bald guy
Yeah,
to this
just
to
holding
this
a
man.
bobblehead of another dude. It's all good.
It's probably because I walk into the pit and look like a lost puppy dog every time I look at this guy. It's like him and his poor lady. I'm like, you guys are lovely. It's like, yo, man, take it easy. He's just a guy.
I know.
Yeah, convince Link to sponsor a trip. It's
Yeah,
gonna take a lot of convincing.
I know. I
I
was gonna
mean,
say, hey, Link, would you like to just spend $5,000 because I want you to?
it's like they'd be like, well, what about all the other videographers that are over there? It's like, I get your point,
Yeah,
but
exactly. It's like, why can we not pay like a fraction of the price to just have someone there film and then you get the footage? It's like, yeah, I can't argue that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, when you break it down from a financial standpoint, it's like, damn. I guess business
It's tough.
owner, like that's this much. Like, yeah,
Yeah, there's a couple scenarios where it makes sense, but it's few and far between. Let's just say that.
yeah.
Um,
When especially ultimately when anything that we do could be done and probably receive better results with a damn iPhone at this point anyway. So it's like, so what the like anytime
um,
I like do something like I was
fancy.
like having a discussion with Matt, just about like how I'm
Mm-hmm.
still indecisive about the new PC and like do I get like a camera or a PC? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like I'm gonna hate myself if I decide either one because I'm not gonna have the other. But like where was I going with this? I don't even
How
remember.
how good like how well iPhone stuff does compared to regular
Oh yeah, and
edits.
I was like, honestly, dude, I'm like, I just use my phone now. I'm not even going to. I do use my phone in the pit now for anything that's
Quick,
just
yeah.
like quick. Yeah, I'm like, there's no point. Like, yeah, there's a purpose for like, the artsy stuff, but like overall, I'm like, for what it's going to be used for and forgotten about so quickly, it doesn't matter.
Oh
It
yeah.
really doesn't matter. And like that good old UGC gets pushed as soon as the old somehow algorithm finds out that you shot it on a cell phone. It's like, put it on the front page. It's like, all right, dude. You spend
Yeah.
6 hours doing a sick edit, and it's like, actually, 20 people will see this. It's like, all right, that's cool too.
Right.
What's
That's
up?
just it's how it goes sometimes.
It's the
But
it's the 20 that mattered. Oh,
exactly, it is what
they're
it
out
is.
there. You got people that drive by your house and spray for mosquitoes.
No, we have airplanes.
I was gonna say this feels like the 19 like 50s or 60s where they used to go around and fog places out,
Yeah.
something like
No,
that.
this is they do like plane that a crop duster I think they're called. And
Yeah,
there's like one that flies over our city
you're not
and does
talking
like
about me in a
mosquito stuff.
Walmart or something like
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. But yeah, guys,
uh,
I just wanted to do a short episode this today just to kind of keep in touch. Had some couple things that we were going to try and do and just time and just the way the schedule laid out wasn't going to work this week. So, we'll have another pretty poppin' episode next week though, that's for sure, with New Jersey coming out, and we'll get the brackets all out and we'll get somebody on, and it'll be a good one.